I just went on the world's cheapest date. When I tell you, I'm so sick of the brokies that are coming through my DMs, but I just got to get into the story time. So this guy asked me out for a date today, and you know, I pick a spot near me because what do I look like traveling on public transportation for this date, right? So he comes, the place happens to be closed, so we're walking trying to find another restaurant, which is like my pet peeve. He rolls up in a bicycle, not a car, a bicycle. So I'm looking at him like, I'm in a skirt, I'm dressed up, he's in sneakers, shorts, and a bicycle, what, trying to work out? So of course I try to find the other restaurants. Every restaurant we go to on the street, he looks at the menu. If it looks a little bit too expensive or too bougie, he's making excuses like, oh, you know, I'm not really feeling pizza, you know, right now. It's maybe a food truck. Let's try a food truck. Where are we gonna sit in a food truck, sir? Where are we gonna sit? Like for part 2, because I have a lot to say about this.
If you want to turn a girl off, do this. Go out for drinks or meet her at the bar and offer her a drink, and then complain about how much the drinks were. $38 for 2 drinks? That is the biggest turnoff to a woman. I'm sorry. We don't want to hear your complaints. And I'm not saying that in an ungrateful, bitchy way. Keep that to yourself. Maybe this will help you. That's going to turn a girl off. So don't do that. You might think it in your head, and that's fine. But do not say that out loud to a woman, especially if she was the one you bought the drinks for. It makes us feel weird and like it's uncomfortable to mention and complain about something that you spent on a date or just even a random woman in a bar. Like, I am not going to give a guy my number who literally bought me a drink, but then mentions how much money it was in a negative way. Like, it's weird, cringe behavior, and I would never give a guy like that the time of day.
Tell me why I seen a video of this girl talking about how she went on the worst date of her entire life. So basically, I guess the date consisted of a movie, right? It was one of those like 50-cent movies that they have like during the week or whatever, and that's where they went. And you would think like the man would pay for this since it's like a 50-cent movie, and a 50 cent with a 50 cent. It like you pay 50 cent, I pay 50 cent. What I'm saying is, what is wrong with this generation of men? I'm being so serious. If you can't pay 50 cents for the girl that you're on a date with, that you just met, crazy. If he can't pay 50 cents for you, baby girl, I'm telling you right now, he's not gonna do anything for you ever. So might as well just walk away from that date and be like, I'm out, peace out, because that's crazy. Not paying 50 cents for the girl that you're taking I don't even know where to go with this. Never mind. Bye.
Men move mountains for women they want to be with. They'll move mountains for a woman that they want to see, for a woman that they want to prioritize. That is just the reality. So if he's really not making much of an effort for you, trust that he doesn't really like you.
There's a woman online absolutely baffled that a man took her to a coffee shop on a first date instead of a steakhouse. Not offended he was rude, not upset he was late. Confused that the opening bid was a $6 latte instead of a $200 filet mignon. She has the romantic logic of a toll booth. No specific dollar amount cleared, no entry granted. The confusion isn't about standards, it's that she genuinely cannot compute a man who doesn't see impressing her as his primary life mission.
You looking so good. You alright?
Thought you brought me the cats.
What you mean?
You said we were going to a 5-star restaurant.
I'm saying we at Cats. Like, you really finna get mad
because
about...
you had me get dressed to come to Cats. I could have wore literally like
we
a
not,
jogging suit and some
why
tennis
you
shoes.
got an attitude though? Food is food.
It is. And listen, I like me a good, some cheese
I'm
curds
saying
or
that
something.
you looking good
You
though, baby.
told me to dress like we was going to a 5-star
You
restaurant.
with me, you looking amazing.
It don't matter. I
though?
have on heels and a dress with a split going to Cats.
We finna eat though. That's what you should be concerned with though, baby.
Listen, I don't care about all that. You told me to go to a 5-star restaurant. You gonna bring me to Cats. Cats is business.
Listen, I'm not finna fucking argue with you about
You don't have to
what
argue.
you got on,
if
right?
you broke, just say that.
What you mean broke?
You broke.
Are you serious right now?
This is 5-star to you?
It's Cats. They got some good drinks and good food.
Well, then you eat it by yourself.
Really?
Really.
All right, then listen here. Catch your motherfucking Uber.
I will.
I'm not finna argue with you about some food.
I ain't gotta argue because at the end of the day, baby, I take myself on $200 a day, so I don't need your little
But
cash.
you were thirsty to come out with me though.
Thirsty?
Yeah.
You begged me. You was in my DM.
All right then. Hey, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't get in your car and leave.
I will.
I'm gonna cost my Uber.
Okay, call your Uber.
You broke.
I'm
at this cafe that I really like, and I'm witnessing a first date. He came a little bit earlier, so he got himself a coffee, and then she came and she went inside to get herself her drink. I think this is so unattractive that he didn't even go inside and get her a bottle of water. I think it's just such a turn off.
She admitted it. They always admit it eventually. I gauge his intentions by how much he spends. Translation: I determine a man's worth by his willingness to hemorrhage money on a stranger with no demonstrated reciprocity. That's not a green flag detector, that's a predator's screening process. The man who fails that test is the man who figured out the game and refused to play it. Congratulations, you filtered out the guy with self-respect.
We made the interesting decision to ask some men at the bar this weekend what they think is wrong with modern dating, and this is not going to be an opinionated video. I'm not going to put my opinions in on this. I am just going to tell you verbatim what they said to us. I did literally just say I was not going to put an opinion in here, but I will say I don't think we can blame an entire gender on what's going on right now. I think it's both of our faults / problems. The overall consensus is that women are expecting too much out of men. And now when we asked them what that meant, they said a few different things. But first being is they expect men to be, this is a quote, 6'3" and above and make over $200,000. They also mentioned women expect men to take them on 3 or 4 dates before doing anything with them. They said that social media is inflating what women are expecting from men in a superficial way. So they are expecting a lot more material things because they're seeing other people on social media get those things, when in reality, most men don't have the things on social media. They said that they are using dates as pre-games to go out with their friends. They said a lot of these women have no direction in their life and don't know where they want to go in life, but they are expecting men to have everything together and know exactly where they want to go in life before dating them. Or that they are not where they want to be in life yet, but they expect the man that they are dating to be where he wants to be in life. They also said that they've seen a lot of dating app accounts from their girlfriends and that women just have way too many options and have men asking them out left and right. How many forks can a girl use in one snack? The overall consensus about this conversation is I think that they just think women are using them. So let me know what you guys think.
This is not my kind of date.
Oh, what kind of dates do you usually go?
Like a fancy restaurant.
In my opinion, this date is a 10 out of 10. He even brought Jenga. Honestly, I think he dodged a bullet. He deserves a woman who will appreciate his effort and thoughtfulness, and the right woman for him will love this date.
The average man working a regular job takes home about $50,000 a year. After rent, utilities, food, and basic existence, he has maybe $500 in discretionary spending per month. She wants dinner, drinks, parking, a venue that photographs well for her story, and ideally, a surprise, somewhere in between. That's half his month's free money for a stranger who may or may not text back. The mathematics of impressing modern women were designed by someone who never had to pay rent.
So I went on a date today, and I'd like to tell you about this date because it's classic. We started speaking by phone. We've been talking for a week. We decided that we were going to go to a cafe today. And originally he wanted to go to a coffee spot. I'm not big on coffee. So he did the cafe. I get there first. And there's a wait. I put our name on there, but it was like a 45-minute wait. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to just be awkwardly sitting or standing here with him. And, kind of defeats the purpose of sitting down and kind of getting to know each other at a table. So we go to the restaurant next door and we get a table. He orders a coffee, I order a water, and then the waitress comes up and says, do you guys want anything? He said, oh, I already ate prior, but I hadn't eaten, so I needed something to eat. So I ordered myself a sandwich, and, it took a little bit, but then the food comes, and prior to that, he had been talking about all his cars. He just got a Lamborghini. He showed me the picture of the car. You know how when people deposit money into your accounts, you get the text message. So he just got $200,000 deposited into his checkings. Great for you. Nice to see. Whatever. Good. I don't really care. Good. Great. Whatever. So he's talking about all of his stuff, and it's, you know, it's okay. Like, people like to speak about the things they have and the things they do, and that's great. I mean, I'm not big on that, so, but I don't mind. We're here. I'm getting to know you. So I'm eating my food, and he's like, oh, those smell great. I was like, would you like a fry? So now he's eating the fries with me. And I'm fine with that, because I'm like, you know, sometimes when you see somebody else get food, you tend to get hungry. So I'm like, okay, he's fucking hungry. But now he's eating most of my fries. And I'm like, okay, would you like half of my sandwich? He said no, stuff. So I asked him, does he want half of my sandwich? He said, no, I'm not that hungry. But yet you're eating all my fries. So, okay. So the lady comes, and at this point, I'm like, you know, I'm just kind of ready to go. So I asked her for a box, and I asked for the check. So the check was placed in front of me, and the box was placed in front of him. So he grabs the check and hands me the box. So I put my food in there, and I said, how would you like to do this? Would you like to split it? I didn't know how much the bill was, but I was like, you know, this is our first time meeting. I feel like, you know, let me just be kind. Like, I would do it for anybody anyways, but still. He goes, oh, no, I'll just pay for my coffee. His coffee was $4, and he gave me $5. So I look at the bill. The bill was $20.50. Mind you, when he pulled out all 5 ones, he also took out a $20 bill and gracefully put that motherfucker back in his wallet. And that's fine. He didn't even pay for the fucking tip. I was so pissed when I saw that the bill was $20.50 that the lady, our waitress, she ended up getting, I gave her $30 on top of his $5, because I said, wow, he couldn't even pay $20.50, but you could brag about having $200K just being deposited, showing me your Lamborghini, your Tesla, your Mazda, your 2022 Bentley. I really felt bad about myself, because I'm like, damn, this nigga really didn't want to pay $20 for a bill. I have gone on dates with men who turned out to be bums, and they've paid the full tab. And you're bragging the whole date about everything that you have, and you couldn't pay $20.50 fucking cents. I was a fucking cheap date at that. Didn't even get I have been applying for Love is Blind, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and I haven't gotten a response yet. And I am begging at this point for somebody to open my damn application. It even says I don't want to date in my area. Look at how this date went. My bill was $20.50 fucking cents. And I managed to go on a date with a guy who gave me $5 towards the bill and didn't even put money towards the tip. You could have gave me the fucking 50 cents. I am so upset. I'm like livid. And then they had the audacity to say, can I walk you to your car? I'd rather be walked by a stranger. Lord Jesus. If y'all don't open my application, my name is Gabrielle Basile. I am trying to get on one of these shows. I need to be something, because I'm not going on another date. I'm done. Like, this is sickening. I just can't. This is sickening.
Firstly, I'm not free. I'm never free. And I'm also sensitive to caffeine. So I don't drink coffee. Coffee dates are not it. It's not about the price. It's not about how much money you're spending. Men seem to get it really wrong. They think that when women say, I don't go on coffee dates, it's because of the monetary value of the date. No, it's the intent. How many women have you asked to go for a coffee? I don't feel special. It doesn't feel intentional. It doesn't feel that you have put work into getting to know me. Therefore, I would disqualify you, because I need to see that there has been work and effort put into getting to know me. Have you asked me, what's your favorite dessert? What's your favorite type of drink? Do you like hot drinks? You haven't asked me anything. And this is why women say they don't like coffee dates. It doesn't feel intentional to women. You've asked me for a coffee. First of all, coffee is boring. You know, if you had said to me, there's this new brunch place that just opened up in Soho and they're giving out free pizzas. Do you want to come, Sakina? I would have been like, yeah. I would have been like, yeah, absolutely, I'll come. Because it's different. It's new. It's you thinking out of the box. It's you introducing me to something that I didn't know about. And that's what you men are missing when you're asking women on dates, and you're wondering why you're not getting anywhere with women these days. Because it's about the intent. How much work have you put into getting to know that woman? Because it shows. If you've just not been putting any work into getting to know that woman, it shows. I would ignore this. I get so many DMs like this. Are you free for a coffee? No, I'm not. And I'm sure you're a great guy. You know, women want more. They want to see more from you. It's not enough to get by with a coffee date anymore. You have to be different. You have to think out of the box. Introduce me to something different that I've never heard of. See how that instantly just takes this whole thing to a whole nother level. You've gone from being this really bland, boring, vanilla, basic man asking me for a coffee to, hey, let's go check out this new pizza place in Soho. They got the largest pizzas in the world. We should go. We should do a little food review together. That'd be really cool. The woman's going to say yes. Okay? So it's not about the monetary value, fellas. It's about the intent. It's about the work that goes behind something. Okay? The effort that goes into getting to know a woman. Show it. Show it. Finding a life partner, finding a woman to spend your life with is a journey. And it's an achievement. Okay? You don't just get women like that. Long gone are the days that you just get a beautiful woman on your arm because you're a man. Men are not the prize anymore. Back in the day, men were the prize because women didn't have resources. They didn't have options. Okay? They weren't allowed to have a bank account. So men were the prize. Because if a woman found a man, it's like, that's her ticket to happiness. But now, women have woken up. They don't need to do that. We don't need to pick a man off the street for survival anymore. We don't need to do that. So men, you have to come in harder. You need to be a bit more creative. What sets you apart from the other 10 other men in her DM who were asking her out that weekend? Okay? Life is a game. You've got to be in it to win it. And women are waking up day by day, right? And they want more. And that's why dating is hard. That just because they want more, it doesn't necessarily mean that they want more money. They want you to spend more. I gave you an example of how you can impress a woman. It's about thinking out the box and being creative.
A man with genuine options doesn't audition. He shows up as himself and lets the woman decide if she's interested. The performance culture, the fancy restaurant strategy, the carefully engineered first impression spending spree is a beta male technology. It's compensating for the absence of real value with the presence of a large bill. The man who has actually built something doesn't need to bribe a woman into noticing him. He knows his worth doesn't live on a receipt.
The number one thing that confuses me about dating right now is that it feels like a lot of guys like me, but they don't want me. Like, they're physically attracted to me, they might like talking to me, they like all my stories and everything on Instagram, they might send me a DM every so often, but no one wants to actually make an effort to create something substantial with me. No one wants to make any sort of commitment. No one wants to plan dates. And I feel like I'm in such a weird period. Sorry, there were people, but it just feels like I'm in a weird holding period with a lot of these guys who are definitely breadcrumbing me, stringing me along, making me think that they're eventually going to make an effort. I just have to give it time and I can't rush anything. There was one certain guy that we had been on 2 dates. They went really well. We were talking, we were FaceTiming, and I tried to plan a third because he hadn't yet, and it had been 2 weeks since we had seen each other. So I tried to plan a third, and he told me that he thought I was forcing it, and he was like, it'll just happen, let it happen, like, when we can see each other. I'm like, plans just don't happen out of thin air. Someone has to plan it, and clearly you're not. So I was told I was forcing it. So I don't know, it's very confusing to be liked by many but wanted by none, and it's kind of sad.
I'm 31 years old. I live by myself. I pay all my own bills. I pay for my rent, my insurance, my car, my this, my that, my student loans, and I cook and clean, and I work out, and I take care of myself, and I look good, and I show up for my family, and I show up for my friends. What makes you think that I'm impressed by, come over and chill, we'll figure it out? Next.
The men who stopped performing stopped attracting the wrong women. Simple as that. When you remove the bait of expensive dinners and grand gestures, the women who were there for the entertainment leave immediately. What's left? Someone who was actually curious about the man, not the experience he could provide. Abundance doesn't come from spending more, it comes from being more. The confused women aren't confused about the behavior, they're confused that the strategy they ran for years is getting shut down.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see, do you hold your chopsticks correctly? We're just gonna, study you a bit. Okay? So dinner it is.
What is the problem with making plans for dates? Like, what is this whole back and forth thing? I'm asking because one of my best friends, she literally has been talking with this guy for like, say, a month and a half, 8 weeks, if you will. And he'll be like, what are you up to this weekend? She'll be like, I don't have any plans. Like, we'll just see. And he's like, all right, keep me posted on your plans. Like, no, sir, make a plan. Tell her, hey, okay, you don't have anything planned? Beautiful. Can I see you Saturday night? Great. Can I see you Sunday morning? And let's go for coffee and a long walk on the West Side Highway. Like, there are so many things that you can do. And I just don't understand, other than he's not interested or he's just a mess, which some guys are a mess. To me, it's more of just he's not interested. I don't understand. Like, are we not reading it right? Like, is there something I'm missing? Boys, let me know.
And here's the full circle moment. The man she dismissed as low effort for the coffee date is now married to a woman who thinks a coffee date is perfect because she actually wanted to know him, not his reservation skills. The confused women are watching from the outside, while the men they trained to perform found women who didn't require a performance. The confusion will lift eventually. By then, the men they wanted will have long since stopped trying to impress anyone at all.